So Highland Growers Podcast, I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with...
I'm Greyson Zane.
And we're some questions to say about his new EP, Maverick. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to it so far?
I think it's been really good. I think that it's the most me I've ever been able to be on a record so far that we've been able to like capture in like sonic space. And I think the reactions to it have shown that.
Damn straight. That's wonderful.
Yeah. Well, the EP absolutely rips.
EP fucks. That opener is insane.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Oh,
yeah, that's the first song that we wrote for it.
Oh, look at that. Look how special that is. Hell yeah. So is there any meaning behind the EP title or cover art?
Yeah, both actually. So for the cover art, my last two EPs had me with disco balls and everything, and I've kind of made like a disco ball kind of like my thing. And I kind of felt like with this EP, if you listen to my other EPs, I kind of broke the mold and I kind of showed everything that I could do with all the different genres obviously under the same alternative umbrella, but all the different things that I can really do. So in the EP art, it's a gun destroying the disco ball, kind of just destroying everything that I've done so far. And then Maverick, that ended up being the title track, but that wasn't the name of that song originally. I just had that was the name for the EP because I was like, well, this is kind of like ambitious to kind of do this where it's just like every single song is almost like a different genre. And so, like being like a Maverick is kind of like, doing your thing. I mean, even if you watch Top Gun,
yeah.
So
exactly, yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Well, can you tell us a little bit about the writing process for the EP?
Yeah, so it started in January of 2024. Well, I mean, technically it started before that, but I didn't end up using any of the songs that I wrote in late 23. But so I went to the studio at the Audio Compound here in Orlando with my producer, Andy K, before he moved to Nashville. And we went in to do 2 songs to kind of just like get started on the EP, kind of figure out what we were going to do because he had a little bit of time. And we ended up writing like 3 songs and then we got rid of all of them. And then we had Hellbent, which was the other song that we wrote because it was kind of like, well, I kind of want to do something heavier. And then he was like, all right, we'll write a riff. And then like the first riff that I wrote in like the next 5 seconds was the opening riff to Hellbent. It just came immediately, which is crazy. Like, a lot of times, I mean, you hear stories of stuff happening like that all the time, but like, as a writer, that doesn't really happen that often. So it was really cool that like it just came immediately.
That's insane. That is incredible. I love hearing that type of shit.
Yeah. And you mentioned the process kind of started in January last year. Could you give like a rough timeline of when things wrapped up and you had your masters in hand just to get the full scope?
Yeah. So then I went back to the studio in June.
Okay.
And that's where we did the final 5 songs because then after I left the studio until I went back, and we finished the record in Nashville. But so that couple of months where I just wrote a bunch of songs, like I probably had like 30 songs, and we chose the best 4 songs that I had, which ended up being Maverick, Take Me With You, Blood, and Imposter. And then we already had Hellbent. And then we wrote Sinners together in the studio. And then I left the studio at the end of June. Then I probably had the masters back by like August, September.
Damn.
Yeah. Pretty quick process.
In October.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Pretty solid process. Timeline.
Yeah. And you mentioned at the beginning of the interview that this is like the most you feeling project that you've ever put out. And I just wanted to like spin that back on you and kind of ask you to expand on that a little bit because I'm very curious as to why you're saying that.
Yeah. So like obviously everything that I've put out is like it is a good representation of me. But like when I say that, I mean like this record, like what I've been hearing in my head for like the past couple of years, because like I've been in many bands, I've done the solo thing for the past 3 years now. And it's kind of just like I don't know, it's kind of hard to put it. It's just like what I was hearing in my head for so long, like all these different sounds, I was finally able to put them out. And it's kind of crazy that every single song is kind of like really different from each other, which I wouldn't do again. I wouldn't do that again.
One and done. Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really cool experience. And it was just like what I was hearing in my head. I just like, we worked together with my producer and I was just like, hey, this is what I'm hearing in my head. Like, let's try to really like get it out instead of just like me bringing songs to the studio and us refining them and then re-recording them and putting them out. It was more of a, hey, like let's really focus on this and like let's like completely break down the songs that you have and like build them back up to like what you want them to be.
Absolutely, that makes sense. Well, at least it's an EP, so like the taster palette kind of thing of like different sounds for each song you can get away with, because I think the expectation for like a cohesive piece of music is a little less from an EP versus an album.
Yeah, absolutely. And also I think as a solo artist, I can get away with more than a band can
Yeah.
that department. But my next record, which I already have like 50 songs for, is going to be cohesive.
Okay, cool.
It's going to be the definitive Greyson Zane sound. It's going to
Okay.
be like, this is me.
That's so exciting. Hell yeah. All right. So what song off the EP took the longest to write, and which one is your personal favorite?
Well, the one that took the shortest amount of time to write was Sinners, I'll tell you that.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
one that took the longest to write, it's kind of hard. I mean, Imposter took a while because we mashed so many genres together.
Hmm.
It's kind of like the pop punk and then the metalcore, and then you have like the Brat, Charlie XCX
Hmm.
thing in there. And then you go to like the Metallica type bridge.
Yeah.
So, like that one took a while, but that's my favorite song on the record. So
There you go. Two birds, one stone. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. And for this question, I want you to pick your favorite lyric off the EP and tell us the meaning behind it.
oh, that's such a hard question. Oh.
You know, there's a lot of words on there.
Yeah, there's a lot of words. The easy one to grab from is definitely imposter. You know, it's like because I feel like a fucking fake throwing dirt on my own name. You know that we wrote that song about imposter syndrome, and I feel like everybody experiences that at some point in their life. But yeah, sometimes I definitely feel that way where it's just like I'll post something and like it's just like what am I doing, like not what am I doing, because like it's what I want to be doing and like this is what I envision myself doing forever.
Mhm.
But it's more just like, oh my god, you know, like my favorite people in the entire world do this, why am I doing this, I don't feel worthy enough,
Yeah.
type thing. And so I'd probably say that lyric.
Gotcha. So is that something you've been struggling with, or that you were struggling with a lot during this entire process and you had to kind of like get it out?
Yeah, so this EP writing it was really bad. So I was going through a really, really anxious time in my life and
Hmm.
it really kind of sucked, but I think the music got better because of it.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it was really hard. Like I didn't want to leave the house. I didn't want to go do anything.
Yeah.
Like it was just a tough time mentally, but
Hmm.
now we're here. Now we're good. But
Exactly. Yeah.
but yeah, so I would say so. It was definitely something that I needed to get out.
For
Um,
sure. So throughout the entire album process, it was just kind of like it was dragging. You weren't. It wasn't a great time, I guess.
well, it's not like it wasn't a great time. It was a great time, like
Hmm.
on the outside, but inside my head, I was like struggling. But like,
Yeah.
and my producer and my co-writers that I wrote with, like they all knew it, but we kind of just
Hmm.
like we just kept going. Just like
Absolutely. Yeah.
Fuck it, we ball.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck it, we ball.
So how do you recommend your fans to listen to this EP for the first time? Should do in the car with friends, in the dark with headphones on? Is workout EP, party EP? What do you personally recommend?
Well, I definitely think it's a great workout EP. I would definitely recommend. There's definitely a lot of parts on this record that are great for listening with friends. Like Imposter is like a great, like, you know, screaming in the car along with your friends or along with your friends type song and stuff like that. I mean, even Sinners. I mean, I think Sinners is kind of like a party song, even though it's not like a party song lyrically. I
Mm.
just think that, you know, like it's kind of like a alternative country emo type
Yeah.
vibe. I just feel like, you know, you're around a campfire and you're kind of just like singing. So I'd probably say, you know, with a group of friends screaming along in the car.
Damn straight. Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And this one should be super, super quick off the top of your head. I want you to describe this EP for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
Ambitious. I mean, I feel like Maverick is just like a great word to describe it.
I'll
So
let it slide. Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
sorry. That is ambitious, Maverick, and probably, I don't know. I think it's fun. Probably those three.
Those
Yeah.
are good. Hell yeah.
Solid.
And in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the EP?
Probably to like not take everything so serious, you know, because
Hmm.
there's a lot of times in life where you take everything too seriously. And I think that that's probably like the best mind state to listen to this record in is like, I'm just going to like, you know, not take everything so seriously right now. I'm going to have a little bit of fun.
Exactly. Hell yeah. Good mindset. And are you able to touch on any particularly challenging or standout moments during the creation of the EP, positive or negative?
Yeah, I remember when we wrote the bridge, because we wrote the bridge for Imposter in the studio, because that song wasn't finished when I brought it in. And
Mhm.
like the feeling of like putting those harmonized guitars, they're in the background, so like you have to kind of listen for them. But like those harmonized guitars that are in like the background, it was just like it made me so happy because like, Metallica is my favorite band of all
Yeah.
time. And it was just like, oh my God, this is so sick. Like I'm so happy. Like we are just like doing the thing. And like even with like the drum beat that comes after is like the Iron Maiden like galloping thing.
Mhm.
And it made me so happy because those are the bands that I grew up on. My music
Yeah.
doesn't sound anything like those bands, but like
No.
but those are the bands I grew up on, and those are the bands that I love like
Yeah.
most. So it was just it made me so happy that I was like, oh my God, like I was able to do this because like the music that I write that just like really comes from like my soul. It's like it's not that.
Mhm.
So it was cool to be able to like add those influences in there and kind of pay homage to all the bands I grew up loving. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you finally got to
Very
pull on
sweet.
those influences. Hell yeah.
Damn straight.
So for this question, I want you to picture you're on tour, you're at a gas station for a rest stop. What is your snack of choice?
Oh, probably those like well, it depends if because I'm diabetic, so it depends if my blood sugar is good or not. So if my blood sugar is good and I can do whatever I want, probably like those like rainbow like gummy things that are like
Oh yeah, the sour strips?
yeah, those.
Yeah.
Those.
Mm-hmm.
But if my blood sugar isn't doing that great, then probably just like I don't know, maybe some like Chex Mix or some Pringles or something.
Still
Something.
fucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Hell
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
I'm a Chex Mix lover, so they both talk to me, so that's great. That's great. Hell yeah. And on the topic of food, if your music project was a dish, what dish would it be and why?
I think it'd be a steak, but you
Okay.
get it with fries, right? Instead of
Ooh.
getting like a steak and like, you know, like a loaded baked potato and a salad where it's all like classy and everything.
Mm.
It's like you have a steak, but then you have like fries. So it's just like, yes, we're serious, but it's just like we're also having fun because, you know, we had the fries.
Yeah. That's wonderful. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Good pick.
And for the last couple questions, we're going to shift completely away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Dude, it would definitely have to be chicken tenders and fries. Oh, no. Chicken tenders and onion rings from this place in Nashville called Waldo's.
Ooh, okay.
And I'd probably get it with a Coke Zero.
Oh, that's
Comfort
solid as
food.
fuck.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. And if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
I think about this all the time.
Solid.
So one of my favorite like fictional worlds is probably like Alien. But the thing is that like I don't want there to be an alien that I'm running away from.
Yeah, no. I was like, what the fuck? That's the first time anyone's ever said that one. Okay.
Just like I love the retro futuristic vibe of like
Yeah.
how it's like you're in space, but it looks like the 70s or the 80s. And I really love that.
Mhm.
And Alien Romulus, it was such like a great movie that that came out last year. And it's just like such a
Solid, yeah.
stunning, beautiful movie. And it's just like those two things combined is just, yeah. So I'll say that one.
Solid.
All right. And I've done the last question. Every single person we've spoken to have said that it is the most important question. What is your favorite color?
Purple.
Specific shade of purple.
Like royal purple, like you know, like what a king would wear, like that type of purple.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, hell
that's
yeah.
solid.
Second purple of the day. Damn
Yeah.
straight. Huh.
Hell yeah. So as I said, that's all the questions I have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Go listen to the EP. I have a really cool video coming out on YouTube really soon. It doesn't have to do with my music. It is a cover that I did with a buddy, but a lot of people don't know that I can play guitar because most people are just like, oh, he's probably just a vocalist and a songwriter. It's like I went to Berklee College of Music because I could play guitar.
There you go. Yeah.
So this song kind of that we covered is a classical song, and we did like the Yngwie Malmsteen type version of it.
Ooh. Yeah, love that.
Decided to release that, so stay tuned. It's coming next month in July.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. It's been Greyson Zane, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.